The crash echoed through the house like a thunderclap, Reagan's laptop shattering against the kitchen wall in a spray of glass and circuits. "You don't deserve a future, you disgusting freak," her father bellowed. His face twisted in rage as he discovered the love letters from Riley hidden in her files. Reagan stood frozen, her thesis. Months of blood, sweat, and dreams, vanishing in an instant, leaving her world in ruins. Reagan Thompson had always been the golden child in her family's eyes, or at least that's what she told herself growing up in the foggy suburbs of San Francisco. Born into a middle-class household where her father, a stern construction foreman named Jack, ruled with an iron fist wrapped in Bible verses, she learned early to hide parts of herself. Her mother, Linda, was the soft counterbalance, a schoolteacher who baked cookies and whispered encouragements, but even she deferred to Jack's unyielding views on traditional values. Reagan excelled in school, burying her confusion about girls in straight-A report cards and soccer trophies. But college changed everything. At UC Berkeley, the world opened up like a blooming flower under the California sun. It was there, in a crowded lecture hall during her sophomore year, that she first noticed Riley Hayes. Riley was everything Reagan wasn't. Bold, unapologetic, with a pixie-cut dyed electric blue and a laugh that cut through the noise like a siren. She was majoring in environmental science, always protesting something: climate change, corporate greed, or the latest injustice against the LGBTQ+ community. Reagan, studying journalism, found herself drawn to Riley's fire, attending rallies just to catch a glimpse of her waving signs with fierce determination. Their first real conversation happened at a campus coffee shop, the kind with mismatched chairs and overpriced lattes. Reagan spilled her drink while fumbling with her notebook, and Riley swooped in with napkins and a grin. "Whoa, easy there, spill master. You trying to create a new abstract art piece?" Riley teased, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Reagan blushed, mumbling apologies, but Riley wouldn't let her off that easy. They talked for hours about dreams, fears, and the suffocating weight of expectations. Riley shared stories of coming out in high school, the bullying, the triumph. Reagan listened, her heart pounding, realizing this was the pull she'd felt but never named. As weeks turned to months, their friendship deepened into something electric. Stolen glances in study groups, late-night walks along the bay where the Golden Gate Bridge loomed like a promise. One evening, under a sky streaked with pink and orange, Riley took Reagan's hand. "I see you, Reagan. All of you. And it's beautiful." The kiss that followed was tentative, then urgent, a dam breaking after years of restraint. Reagan felt alive, truly alive for the first time. But joy came with shadows. She kept Riley a secret from her family, terrified of Jack's reaction. "He's old school," she'd say to Riley, who urged her to come out. "Give him time. People change." Back home for spring break, the cracks began to show. Jack grilled her about boyfriends, his voice laced with suspicion. "You're not one of those liberal weirdos turning queer on me, are you?" He'd joke, but his eyes weren't laughing. Reagan laughed it off, but inside panic brewed. She threw herself into her senior thesis, an investigative piece on LGBTQ+ rights in conservative America, inspired by Riley's activism. It was her ticket to a journalism career, a future where she could be free. Riley visited once, under the guise of a study buddy. They sneaked moments in Reagan's room, whispering plans for after graduation, moving in together, traveling the coast. But Jack's unease grew. He rifled through her things when she wasn't looking, finding a photo of them at a pride event. The confrontation simmered, building like a storm. One night, as Reagan typed furiously on her laptop, finalizing her thesis draft, Jack burst in. He'd hacked her password, simple, really her birthday. Emails to Riley popped up, intimate and loving. His face went red, veins bulging. "What the hell is this?" he roared. Reagan stammered, but it was too late. He grabbed the laptop, slamming it against the wall. Pieces flew everywhere. Linda rushed in, gasping, but Jack pointed at Reagan. "She's a disgrace. No daughter of mine lives like this." Reagan crumpled, tears streaming as her mother stood silent, torn between husband and child. The next morning, Reagan packed a bag and left, crashing at Riley's tiny apartment in Oakland. Riley held her as she sobbed, promising they'd rebuild. "We'll get you a new laptop. Your thesis is in the cloud, right?" But the damage was deeper than data. Reagan felt unmoored, questioning if love was worth the wreckage. Yet in Riley's arms she found solace, a spark of hope amid the chaos. As days blurred, Reagan rebuilt her thesis on a borrowed computer, her words sharper now, fueled by personal pain. She and Riley grew closer, navigating the drama of young love, jealous spats over time, the thrill of secret dates in hidden cafes. But whispers of betrayal loomed. A family friend, loyal to Jack, spotted them together and reported back. Jack's anger festered, plotting to save his daughter. Reagan's world shrank to Riley's cramped apartment, where the scent of instant ramen and patchouli incense became home. Oakland's vibrant streets, with their murals and bustling markets, offered a stark contrast to the sterile suburbia she'd fled. Riley worked part-time at a nonprofit, fighting for queer rights, while Reagan juggled freelance gigs to fund her final semester. They built a routine, mornings with coffee and kisses, evenings debating politics or watching old rom-coms, giggling at the heteronormative tropes. But the shadow of Jack lingered. Phone calls from Linda came sporadically, laced with guilt. "Your father loves you, Reagan. He's just scared." Reagan wanted to believe it, but the smashed laptop replayed in her mind like a nightmare. She poured her hurt into her thesis, interviewing queer folks from all walks, trans activists in LA, elderly lesbians in New York who'd fought Stonewall. Each story mirrored her own. Rejection, resilience, redemption. Riley was her anchor, but cracks appeared. Riley's ex, a fiery artist named Alex, resurfaced at a rally, stirring old flames. Reagan caught them laughing too closely, a hand on Riley's arm. Jealousy flared. "Is this what you want? Someone louder, more out." Reagan accused one night, voice breaking. Riley pulled her close. "No, babe. You're my everything." Alex's history. They made up with tears and promises, their bond deepening through the storm. Graduation loomed, a beacon. Reagan's thesis earned praise from professors, a potential publication in a national mag. She dreamed of presenting it, Riley by her side. But Jack plotted. He showed up at Berkeley unannounced, cornering Reagan after class. "Come home. We'll fix this. Therapy, church, whatever it takes." His eyes pleaded, but anger simmered beneath. Reagan refused. "This is who I am, Dad. Accept it or lose me." The rejection fueled his fury. He contacted Riley's workplace anonymously, spreading lies about her influencing his daughter. Riley faced scrutiny, her job on the line. "Your dad's a monster," she spat, but Reagan defended him weakly. "He's my family." The tension peaked when Jack appeared at their apartment, banging on the door. "Riley, you stay away from my girl," he shouted. Neighbors called the cops. Jack left fuming. In the aftermath, Reagan and Riley's love intensified, a fortress against the world. They attended therapy together, unpacking trauma. Reagan wrote letters to Jack, raw and honest, but he burned them unread. Linda mediated secretly, smuggling Reagan's belongings, whispering support. "I love you no matter what," she said in a hushed call. As summer hit, they road-tripped down the Pacific Coast Highway, wind in their hair, stopping at beaches where waves crashed like applause. In Big Sur, under starlit skies, Riley proposed, not marriage but commitment. "Let's build a life, Reagan. No hiding." Reagan said yes, tears of joy mixing with salt air. But betrayal struck from an unexpected quarter. A cousin, Sarah, whom Reagan trusted, had been feeding Jack intel. Sarah, struggling with her own closeted feelings, envied Reagan's bravery. In a fit of resentment, she outed Riley's past, a minor arrest at a protest, to Jack, who twisted it into ammunition. He filed a false report, accusing Riley of corrupting Reagan. Police knocked one evening, questioning Riley. The drama escalated. Riley's nonprofit suspended her pending investigation. Reagan confronted Sarah, heartbroken. "Why? I thought you understood." Sarah broke down. "I'm scared, Reagan. Seeing you free. It hurts." The confession sparked empathy. Reagan hugged her, promising help. But the damage rippled. Riley questioned everything. "Is this worth it? Your family tearing us apart." They argued fiercely, words like daggers. Reagan stormed out, wandering Oakland streets, doubting her choices. In the quiet of a park bench, she reflected on love's cost. Memories flooded. First kiss with Riley, the warmth of her embrace. She returned, finding Riley packing. "Don't go," Reagan begged. They collapsed into each other, vowing to fight. Together, they cleared Riley's name, gathering evidence from friends. The investigation dropped, but scars remained. Reagan's thesis defense approached, a high-stakes moment. She invited her parents, a olive branch. Linda came, Jack didn't. As Reagan presented, her voice steady, weaving personal narrative with facts, the room applauded. Riley beamed from the front row. Afterward, Linda hugged her. "I'm proud, honey. And your father read your letters. Give him time." Hope flickered, but drama wasn't done. Jack suffered a minor heart attack from stress, landing in the hospital. Linda called Reagan. "He needs you." Torn, Reagan went, Riley by her side. The hospital in San Francisco smelled of antiseptic and regret, fluorescent lights buzzing like accusatory whispers. Reagan hesitated at the door to Jack's room, Riley's hand in hers a lifeline. Inside, Jack lay pale against white sheets, monitors beeping steadily. Linda rose, eyes red-rimmed. "He's stable. The doctor says stress contributed." Jack's gaze locked on Reagan, then Riley, a storm brewing. "What are you doing here?" he rasped, voice weak but sharp. Reagan stepped forward. "I'm your daughter, Dad. I love you." He scoffed. "With her? That's not love, it's sin." Riley squeezed Reagan's hand, silent support. The visit was tense, words volleyed like weapons. Jack recounted his upbringing. Strict parents, church every Sunday, excusing his bigotry. Reagan countered with stories from her thesis. Families torn, then mended. "Love isn't a choice, Dad. But acceptance is." Linda mediated, revealing her own evolution. "I've been reading, Jack. Attending support groups. Our girls happy, that's what matters." Jack turned away, but a crack showed. He didn't kick them out. As they left, he muttered, "Don't expect miracles." Outside, Reagan broke down in Riley's arms. "Why can't he see me?" Riley kissed her forehead. "He will. Or he won't. But you have me." Post-hospital life intensified. Reagan graduated magna cum laude, her thesis published in a progressive journal sparking buzz. Job offers trickled in, a reporter gig in New York, another in LA. Riley's suspension lifted. She landed a promotion. They celebrated with friends in a queer bar, toasting to survival. But undercurrents pulled. Sarah, inspired by Reagan, came out to her family. Mixed results, but she sought Reagan's guidance. "You showed me it's possible," she said. Yet betrayal's echo lingered. An old friend from Reagan's suburb days, Mike, leaked her story to a local conservative blog, twisting it into parental rights propaganda. Jack, recovering at home, read it and called Reagan furious. "See what your lifestyle causes? Scandal." Reagan hung up, rage boiling. Riley urged confrontation. "Face him. End this cycle." They drove to the suburbs, the familiar house now a battlefield. Jack answered, leaning on a cane. "What now?" Inside, the drama unfolded like a play. Reagan laid it all bare. The pain of hiding, the joy of Riley, the thesis as her manifesto. "You smashed my laptop, Dad. But you can't smash who I am." Jack listened, face softening incrementally. He admitted fear, losing her, societal judgment. "I thought I was protecting you." Tears fell, a breakthrough. But high drama struck. During the talk, Linda collapsed, clutching her chest. Panic ensued. Ambulance, hospital. Tests revealed exhaustion. Not serious, but the scare unified them. In the waiting room, Jack turned to Riley. "You. Take care of her." Riley nodded. "Always." A tentative truce formed. Recovery brought reflection. Jack attended a PFLAG meeting with Linda, hearing stories like Reagan's. He didn't transform overnight, but seeds planted. Reagan and Riley planned their move to New York, a fresh start. Packing, they found old photos. Reagan as a kid, Jack beaming proudly. "He wasn't always like this," Reagan mused. The farewell dinner was awkward yet poignant. Jack grumbled but handed Reagan a check. For a new laptop. And, "I'm trying." Hugs were stiff but genuine. As they drove away, Reagan felt a weight lift, though scars remained. In New York, the city pulsed with energy. Skyscrapers piercing the sky, streets alive with diversity. Their Brooklyn apartment was tiny, but theirs. Reagan started at a news outlet covering social justice. Riley joined an environmental NGO. They built a life. Picnics in Central Park, Broadway shows, a circle of queer friends. But old wounds reopened when Jack visited unannounced. "Wanted to see your world," he said gruffly. Touring the city, tensions flared over politics, but moments of connection emerged. Sharing beers, Jack admitting admiration for Reagan's career. At a pride parade he watched from afar, uncomfortable yet present. The climax built subtly. Riley proposed for real, ring in hand, atop the Empire State Building. "Marry me, Reagan. Through all the drama, you're my home." "Yes," amid tears. But news came. Jack's health declined again, this time serious. Reagan flew back, Riley with her. San Francisco's fog enveloped the airport like a shroud as Reagan and Riley landed, hearts heavy. Jack's condition had worsened. A second heart attack, complications mounting. Linda met them, weary but resolute. "He's asking for you." At the hospital, Jack looked frail, tubes snaking across his body. His eyes lit up weakly seeing Reagan. "Kiddo." The room became a confessional. Jack apologized haltingly. "I was wrong. Scared of what I didn't understand. Seeing you happy. With Riley. It's real." Tears streamed. Reagan held his hand. "I forgive you, Dad. But it hurt." He nodded. "I know. Proud of you." Riley stood back, respectful, but Jack beckoned her. "Take care of my girl." Riley promised, voice steady. Linda shared secrets. Jack had been reading Reagan's articles, donating to queer causes anonymously. He's changed slowly. The family reunited in vulnerability, drama giving way to healing. Jack rallied briefly, enough for discharge. Home care followed, with Reagan staying a week, mending fences. Back in New York, wedding plans bloomed. A small ceremony in Central Park, autumn leaves swirling. Friends and family attended, even Sarah now out and thriving. Jack walked Reagan down the aisle, cane in hand, eyes misty. "You deserve this future," he whispered. Vows exchanged, rings slipped on, a kiss sealing their love amid cheers. But life, ever dramatic, threw curves. Reagan's job sent her to cover a story in the Midwest, anti-LGBTQ+ legislation. Echoes of her past resurfaced. Protests, hate speech. She faced a heckler reminiscent of Jack's old self. "Go home, Dyke," he yelled. Shaken, she called Riley, who flew out. Together, they reported the truth, Reagan's piece going viral. Personal betrayal hit when a colleague outed Reagan's story without consent, using it for clicks. Hurt, she confronted him. "That's my life, not your scoop." He apologized, but trust fractured. Riley supported her through the fallout, their marriage a rock. Years passed in a montage of milestones. Adopting a rescue dog, buying a brownstone, Riley's promotion to director. Reagan published a book expanding her thesis, dedicating it to Jack. He read it cover to cover, calling with praise. "You taught me, kid." Drama revisited when Linda passed suddenly. A stroke. Grief united them. Jack moved to New York for support. Living nearby, he became Grandpa Jack to their friends' kids, evolving into an ally. At a family dinner he raised a toast. To love in all forms. Reagan clinked glasses, heart full. Riley and Reagan's love deepened with time, quiet evenings, shared dreams. Conflicts arose. Work stress, differing views on kids. But they navigated with communication, therapy's gift. A trip to San Francisco revisited old haunts, closure complete. In quieter moments, Reagan reflected on her journey. From shattered laptop to shattered barriers. The pain forged strength, drama birthing growth. She mentored young queer journalists, paying it forward. As they aged, health scares loomed. Riley's breast cancer scare, beaten with early detection. Jack's final days came peacefully, surrounded by family. His last words to Reagan, "I'm sorry. And thank you." Burial in California. Ashes scattered over the bay. Reagan and Riley, graying but vibrant, sat on their stoop watching the world. "We made it," Reagan said. Riley kissed her. "Through hell and back." Decades later, Reagan's book became a staple in classrooms, inspiring a new generation. She and Riley retired to a coastal cottage in Maine, where winters were crisp and summers bloomed with wildflowers. Their love, weathered by storms, shone brighter. Walks on rocky shores, evenings by the fire recounting tales. Grandnieces and nephews visited, hearing stories of the laptop incident turned legend. Jack's transformation became a parable. Change is possible, even late. Reagan volunteered at local LGBTQ+ centers. Riley led beach cleanups. Their home was a haven, walls adorned with photos, wedding day protests, family reunions. One autumn, as leaves turned fiery red, Riley fell ill, pneumonia complicated by age. Hospital vigils echoed past dramas, but now with peace. Reagan held her hand, whispering memories. "You saved me, love." Riley smiled weakly. "We saved each other." Riley recovered, but the scare prompted reflection. They renewed vows on their anniversary, intimate and tearful. Friends toasted to enduring love. In quiet, Reagan wrote a sequel memoir, delving deeper into forgiveness's power. The world evolved, marriage equality nationwide, protections expanding. But challenges persisted. Rising hate crimes, political backslides. Reagan spoke at rallies, voice strong despite years. "Love wins, but we fight for it." A final twist. Sarah's daughter, now a teen, came out to Reagan. "Auntie, I'm like you." Tears, hugs, guidance. The cycle broke, replaced by support. As sun set on their lives, Reagan and Riley sat on the porch, hands intertwined. "No regrets?" Riley asked. Reagan shook her head. "None. You were worth every tear." They watched stars emerge, a testament to resilience. In the end, their story was one of humanity. Flawed, dramatic, ultimately redemptive. Love in its purest form triumphed, not without scars but with profound beauty. Reagan closed her eyes, content, knowing she'd built the future her father once denied.